What's good with y'all boys, man? Real game official, man. And we back with another lit video, man. This is from Gary 828 Sports Talk, man. The real reason Michael Jordan is coming back to the NBA, bro. Um, as we all know, been rumors of Jordan coming to NBC, the broadcast and analyze the games this year. So let's get into this video and see how Jordan finna be coming back.
The answer to the question everybody wants to know. LeBron, what's your decision?
In this fall, man, this is very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
But we also know you three kings came down here to win championships. Not one, championships.
Not two.
LeBron, tell us about that.
Not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, not seven.
Okay, so as you already know, it's been announced that Michael Jordan will return to the NBA to do commentary work in the 25-26 season. But what I don't think a lot of people know is the actual reason why Jordan's coming back. And I haven't really heard anyone else speculating about this, but I believe the reason they're bringing Jordan back is to officially end LeBron James. Because LeBron James has turned out to be an experiment gone wrong. LeBron James has gone rogue. Let me explain, and it will all make sense by the end of the video.
At this point, I think it's best if we both go our separate ways.
I don't understand.
We don't like you. We want you to leave.
On my previous video, I mentioned how LeBron was part of a certain network, and that network controls the media. This network decides who's going to succeed and who's going to fail, whose voice gets raised and whose voice gets drowned out. Those who they choose are given certain assignments to follow, assignments to help carry out an agenda, and in return, they are given success, fame, wealth, power, influence, etc. This is why you often see untalented people at the top of their occupation. I mean, did anyone think that Amy Schumer was a successful comedian because she was actually funny? And there are a slew of others that also dominate their profession who don't deserve to because they are a member of this network. This network not only controls the media, but the entire industry. Entertainment, movies, music, sports, news, politics. It's all controlled. And it's set to follow a specific narrative to carry out whatever agenda this network wants to promote to the masses. Now, obviously, not everyone in this network is talentless. In fact, many of them do have immense talent, and it was their talent that caught the eye of the network. So they have their people on the ground mixing it up with us common folk, blending in with society to watch for new prospects to recruit. And this is where LeBron James comes in. LeBron got the attention of many at a very young age because of how naturally talented and gifted he was at basketball. This network had their eye on LeBron when he was in middle school, and living in poverty, he was an easy target. So this network groomed him at an early age, fed his ego, built him up, telling him how great he is. The crowd oohing and awing him at his games. People praising him wherever he went. He was already a local celebrity by age 14, 15. And then the network put this kid on the cover of Sports Illustrated with the caption, "The Chosen One." High school junior LeBron James would be an NBA lottery pick right now. This kid is being set up by the network and doesn't even know it. Of course he's going to make it to the NBA and likely be a perennial all-star, but that's not what he's being set up for. He can accomplish that on just his raw talent alone. No, there's more to this. The network is not setting him up just to merely become a future NBA Hall of Famer. They are setting him up to surpass Michael Jordan, to surpass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, to surpass Wilt Chamberlain. When the smoke clears, they need LeBron James to be universally acknowledged as the greatest living basketball player of all time. Which is why you've recently seen the GOAT acronym plastered everywhere and has become ingrained in modern lingo. They needed LeBron to be accepted as the GOAT the greatest of all time, so that he could become the influential figure to the youth that the network needs to help spread certain narratives to future generations. So this network will catapult LeBron to
That make a lot of sense, bro. Not as a player, but just as a person with influence that's in the league, because we all know he was not better than Kobe, bro. It should have been after Jordan retired, Kobe, because that was the best player since Jordan retired. If we being like 100% honest, but I guess he didn't fit their, whatever it is for the media. You know what I'm saying? So that make a lot of sense, because a lot of things people say is, oh, off the court, what he do for his family, what he do for the community, which is all good. Everybody respect that. But this not the GOAT for real. It make a lot of sense, bro, what they saying, bro. It's not the GOAT. Being the GOAT off court is good. That's cool, being the GOAT besides basketball. But as far as basketball, like the real GOAT is Jordan. Make a lot of sense what they saying in this vid.
Top of NBA hierarchy in exchange for him to help them lead whatever movement they want to push onto the masses. That was their goal, which is why they did everything in their power to bolster LeBron James up as much as possible. As I said, this network controls the entire industry, which includes the media and every professional sports league, including the NBA. Which is why the NBA helped LeBron as much as they could. LeBron was way behind schedule. He was supposed to already have a couple championships before he finally got his first one in 2012 against OKC. And the only reason he even got his first ring in 2012 was because the NBA, remember, as I just said, the network controls the NBA. So the network sent out the memo for the league to do everything possible to ensure LeBron finally wins his first ring. Therefore, the refs intervened and made bogus call after bogus call to alter the outcome of games and give the championship to LeBron and the Heat and snatch it away from Kevin Durant and OKC. I will show you solid proof and break it down in just a minute. But first, I want to finish explaining their motive, so when you see the clips for yourself, the bogus calls will make sense. The network had the refs intervene because had Kevin Durant and OKC won in 2012, it would have not only disrupted their plan to put LeBron over as the future GOAT, but it would have completely destroyed it. Dwight Howard and the Orlando Magic already disrupted their plan in the 2009 Eastern Conference Finals when they upset LeBron. Then the Boston Celtics disrupted their plan in 2010 when they beat LeBron in the second round of the playoffs. And Kobe Bryant disrupted their plan when he won his fourth and fifth championships in those 2 years against the same two teams that LeBron could not beat. So not only was LeBron not held better than Jordan, but he wasn't even held as good as Kobe Bryant. This threw a monkey wrench in their master plan, but
that make a lot of sense.
Still salvageable.
That make a lot of sense why they didn't let that CP3 trade to the Lakers go through back then on the lockout year 2011.
They could get LeBron on track. But had Kevin Durant and OKC won the finals in 2012, as they should have, had the refs not cheated them, then Kevin Durant would also be held better than LeBron, which would have officially ended their plan for LeBron to ever be considered the GOAT. A prime 27-year-old LeBron James outstaged by a young 23-year-old Kevin Durant? That would have been the final nail in LeBron's GOAT coffin. And the league could not let that happen. After all, they set this plan in motion in the late 90s when LeBron was in middle school. Don't you think they're going to protect their investment? It's not every day that a young talent like LeBron James comes around. So with all that in mind, take a look at these clips and tell me the referees are not blatantly cheating for LeBron James in the Miami Heat. Thanks for watching. Real quick, just wanted to remind you, if you liked the video, to check you. Kevin Durant was actually pretty fair, and OKC won easily. Kevin Durant was pretty much unguardable. Look at what he was doing in game 1. And by these clips, you can tell, yeah, he was a problem for LeBron James.
Durant, fake jumper, got it. Durant again, knocks it down. 13 points in the fourth, and there's still 4.5 to play. James.
All of those shots were in the fourth quarter. Durant already had 13 points in the first 7.5 minutes of the fourth quarter. And there was nothing Miami could do to stop him. Look at how effortlessly he was scoring. They wanted Miami to exert most of their energy the first 3 quarters. And then a quick strategy. As you can see, Miami had no answer, which is why the refs had to start helping LeBron, because that was the only way to stop KD. Which brings us to game 2. Miami is up 96-91 with under a minute left in the game. Let's watch what happens.
Wade on the drive, splits, gets inside, pass to Bosh on the finish.
Okay, so Bosh scores to put Miami up by 7 with 53 seconds to go. Should be easy for the superior Miami team to hang on, right? Let's see.
He's looking to spot for 3. Durant does attack the rim and scores quickly.
Again, look how easy it was for Durant to score. Right over LeBron like it was nothing. OKC down 5, 50 seconds to play. I showed you what he did in the fourth quarter of game 1. I showed you what he did in the fourth quarter of game 2. This is how you perform in the finals. Kevin Durant is a killer. He's 23 years old here and emulating Michael Jordan, emulating Kobe Bryant, emulating Larry Bird. He should have been the face of the league. This is who Kobe was supposed to pass the torch to. OKC on a 5-0 run in 17 seconds. Down 2 with 37 seconds to go. Miami ball. Now, let's see how LeBron responds under pressure.
2-point game.
James puts up a 3.
Missed it.
Bosh tips it out, picked up by Cephalosha. And a timeout called by the Thunder.
OKC could have won game 2.
LeBron breaks a 3, and you want to tell me that LeBron James is better than Kevin Durant? OKC down 2 with 12 seconds to go in regulation. So naturally, they give the ball to Durant, which has been pretty much automatic unless this happens.
Lose the game. They have a foul to give. Durant on the drive, shot short. Westbrook lost it. James has it. And they foul James.
Okay, wow. Finally, Durant missed. Let's see why he missed. Let's take it to the replay.
Ooh, he following him. They ain't called it. Dang, let me find out they got cheated. Wow.
You can clearly see this is a foul, which was not called. And then the commentator, Mike Wilbon, even says that it was a foul.
I mean, you let some things go during the game, but right here, LeBron James fouls once, twice, that's a foul, period. Go to the line, should have been shooting 2.
Nothing called. LeBron James goes the other way after they foul. He makes both free throws.
And to make things even worse, Westbrook was about to grab the rebound, and then LeBron grabbed and pulled his wrist down and stole the rebound away. And again, the refs turned a blind eye. LeBron fouled both Durant and Westbrook on the same play and no call. Why do you think that is? This no call right here altered the history of the league. Do you really think that this referee could not clearly see the foul? Do you think this was an accidental no call? Of course not. The league was helping LeBron to build his legacy and his fake GOAT case. If this had been called as it should have, this game would have went into overtime and KD would have dominated Miami just like he had been, and OKC would have been up 2-0, and there's no way in hell they would have lost this series.
We can't really deny that. We can't. That was a foul. That Thunder could have won in overtime.
But of course, the foul was not called, and the series is now unjustly tied, which takes us to Game 3, where we are going to have more egregious officiating.
Oh, yeah, he behind the line.
that should have been a 3.
So here we are in the first half, and this was an OKC shot counted as 2, but you can clearly see is a 3. As you can hear, the studio analysts confirm.
Oh, yeah, he behind the line.
that should have been a 3.
If this was the only questionable call throughout the game, it wouldn't be a big deal because I know mistakes can happen. But how do you explain this?
As Wade goes baseline, never touched by Harden, but there's a foul called.
Let's look at it again.
As Wade goes baseline, never touched by Harden, but there's a foul called.
Even the announcer says never touched by Harden, and he chuckles as he says there's a foul called.
Never touched by Harden, but there's a foul called.
Where's the foul? Where is it? Where's the foul?
Second quarter, Kevin Durant, the 3 right over LeBron James. That's such a tough shot.
And as you can see, Durant resuming in Game 3 exactly where he left off Games 1 and 2, effortlessly scoring against LeBron James, which takes us to the second half. OKC up 7 with 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. And you can see, once again, Durant easily scores over LeBron to put OKC up 9. This is not a fluke. OKC was better than Miami. Durant is better than LeBron. This was his 21st point in the game with 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Durant was unguardable. The only way to stop him was to call bogus fouls against him to force him to the bench.
And the turnover leads to an easy bucket for Miami. And that's their first field goal of the third quarter. They only scored 6 points in 6 minutes.
So Miami has only scored 6 points in the first 6 minutes of the third quarter because Durant is dominating as he has been this entire series, which is why on the next possession they had to do this.
Wade drives the baseline, little fake, and Durant can't believe the call. I think it's going to be the 4th on Durant.
Oh.
Kevin Durant just picked up his 4th foul, 2nd straight game. He's got foul difficulty. His Harden will come in.
Where he fouled him
Doesn't
at?
look like anything there. Nope.
You can hear the announcer Mike Breen says, doesn't look like anything there, and then nope, after watching 2 replays, because there wasn't anything there.
I'm sure there are a lot of Oklahoma City fans right now saying, what about that same spot at the end of game 2? I'm sure there are a lot of Oklahoma City fans right now saying, what about that same spot at the end of game 2?
Right, that to me is a play on. He bit on the fake a little bit.
Well, Durant will sit. Now a decision for Scott Brooks. Now his team is up by 6, which certainly helps him right now, but how long do you let him sit?
All right, so you can see Wade leaning into Durant and then driving his elbow into him. Pump fake KD jumps straight up, avoids contact, smart defense, and then Wade initiates contact and hurls up a prayer. This was not a foul on Durant, especially not in the playoffs, definitely not in the finals. And we'll look at it from another angle. Again, you can really see Wade drive that elbow into Durant to try to get position. Pump fake, Durant jumps straight up, arms stretched out, and Wade initiates the contact, and the refs call another crucial BS foul against OKC, and more importantly, a fourth foul against Kevin Durant that forces him to sit on the bench. That was the only way they could stop him. As you can see, he already had 21 points on 9 of 13 shooting, with nearly a quarter and a half left in the game. Well, now that Durant's on the bench, I wonder what's going to happen now.
Wade kicks it out, James for three, puts it in.
So with Kevin Durant on the bench, Miami goes on a 16-7 run and takes a 2-point lead near the end of the third quarter. And look how smug LeBron looks. He's so proud of himself. You can literally see him stifling that self-satisfied smirk. This guy can only compete when he has some kind of significant advantage. He clearly is not on Kevin Durant's level and could only get the lead when Durant was on the bench. And unfortunately, even when KD did come back into the game, he was never the same player. He played timid because he was afraid of getting more foul calls. So he couldn't play his game. It's like he had a mental handicap. And handicapped is just how LeBron likes his opponents to be.
Bruh, not the kid bit.
And then, even with Kevin Durant playing with 5 fouls, the Heat are only up by 3 with 20 seconds left in the game. And LeBron has the ball with James Harden guarding him, hoping they can make a defensive stop and get the ball back. What do you think happens next?
Away. No foul, Scott Brooks is yelling. And a blocking foul on Harden as he tried to draw the charge.
And here's the cherry on top of their cheating Sunday. They call an imaginary blocking foul on Harden, but where was the foul? You can see Harden looks utterly confused, as do the rest of us. Let's go to the replay. Oh,
That's
so
like
I
an
guess
offensive foul,
James
anything.
Harden's chest blocked LeBron's elbow when he swung it around at him. There was no foul. LeBron got help from the league to win this series. This is a fake championship. This championship is about as real as a reality show. Okay, let's slow this down and tell me where James Harden committed a foul. Let us know in the comment section.
That's crazy.
So the end of game 3 was about as well officiated as the end of game 2. So basically, if LeBron is on defense, there will be no foul call. And if LeBron is on offense, there will be an automatic foul call. LeBron's whole career has been a reality show. His fake championships have all been manufactured. His GOAT case is an illusion.
1 second, you feel safe. And then?
If LeBron lost this series as he should have, he'd merely be a top 15, top 20 player all time. He'd never be compared to Michael Jordan. He'd never be in the conversation for greatest of all time. And
that would have been 2 finals losses in a row. Dallas, then Oklahoma.
Strong possibility he never never would have won a championship. And Kevin Durant would have went on to be held better than LeBron. And OKC would probably have been a dynasty and likely won 3 to 5 championships. And they would have done it by drafting and constructing their roster organically. LeBron has never won a championship on an organic roster.
In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
The way Jordan did, the way Kobe did, the way Tim Duncan did, the way Dirk Nowitzki did, the way Steph Curry did, the way Giannis Antetokounmpo did, the way Nikola Jokic did, and the way Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is about to in a week. LeBron will never know what that feels like, because building organically is risky. It's scary. It's not safe. It's not easy. It takes time. It takes courage. It takes perseverance. There are no quick fixes when you build a roster the right way. And deep down, LeBron knew he wasn't good enough to do it, which is why he left Cleveland in 2010 to team up with Wade and Bosh in Miami. And he still couldn't win until the league assigned the referees to intervene. If that had not happened, LeBron would not have even won on a manufactured super team.
Jump stop, double pump, floats it up, no good, well defended. Dumps it inside to James, lost the ball. It's scooped up by Cephalosha. Tabo, Oklahoma City has got it all going.
James spins left-handed, not that time, picked up by Westbrook. The Thunder defense in the second half has been absolutely superb.
Inside to James, lost the ball. Inside to James, lost the ball. Inside to James, lost the ball. Inside to James, lost the ball.
And of course, as I talked about in great detail on my previous video, link at the end of this video in case you missed it, the media have been jumping through hoops to make LeBron look as strong as possible. They make tons of excuses for him when he loses, and then gives him all the credit when his team wins. And they even try to spin a narrative that he's better than Michael Jordan and the GOAT, the greatest of all time. But they're only saying this because this is what their bosses are telling them to report. And their bosses are members of this network that LeBron James is also a member of. So this is the network's agenda, and the members follow suit accordingly to whatever objective that's been issued.
For LeBron to pass Jordan, he needs a time machine to go back about 11 months when he passed him the first time.
I had a conversation with Adam Silver. I think we might name the MVP after old GOAT James. What you think about that, Stephen A? I think GOAT James, he should have that award named after him. He was
I have no problem with that.
I had a dream I was your hero.
But ultimately, the network's plan backfired. A couple things they had not accounted for. 1. LeBron did not have the drive and dedication to the game the way Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant had.
People were afraid of him. We were his teammates and we were afraid of him. And there was just fear.
That's what I do it to you. I just do it to you. Ignore this guy. He's done super. He's overplayed.
The fear factor of MJ was so thick.
Yeah, let's not get it wrong. He was a jerk. He crossed the line numerous times. But as time goes on and you think back about what he was actually trying to accomplish, you're like, yeah, he was a hell of a teammate.
If your job is to try to be the best basketball player you can be, right? To do that, you have to practice, you have to train, right? You want to train as much as you can, as often as you can. If I start earlier, I can train more hours. And I know the other guys aren't doing it because I know what their training schedule is. If I do this consistently over time, the gap's just going to widen and widen and widen and widen and widen, and they won't be able to get that back.
I say this in my vids, like this man didn't really work on his bag. Like, all he did is work on his body, made sure his body was in tip-top condition. I said this in multiple videos. You could tell.
The number one.
So to me, it was just common sense and like thinking, how can I get an advantage? Oh, start earlier.
They assumed he would work as hard as those guys did to improve his game, but he didn't. Therefore, he didn't develop as much as they needed him to. And two, all of that constant praising him totally backfired because it created an egomaniac. An egomaniac that didn't feel like he had to work hard to improve his game because he believed he was already better than everyone else. Because the network already told him how great he was back when they were grooming him in middle school and high school. And that's precisely why he lost to an inferior Dallas Mavericks team in the 2011 finals. Because him and his team were more talented, he assumed he could coast through the finals and easily win.
The way we're going to challenge each other to get better in practice, once the game starts, I mean, it's going to be easy.
That's the assumption of an egomaniac.
It's part of it is arrogance. That's what it is. They believe that they won the championship already, that they should have won all those games.
I agree.
That's what it is.
And I said yesterday, LeBron James is 26, looks 36, and often acts 16. That's vintage 16-year-old stuff right there. And Dwayne Wade, again, right there with him.
Which brings me to the main point of this video. LeBron's ego got so out of control that he has now become a liability to the network. And this is why they are bringing Michael Jordan in. The network is about to remove their protection of LeBron James. For the first time in his professional career, he's going to be susceptible to fair, honest, and objective criticism. And LeBron is going to be shell-shocked. And it is going to alter the perception from the public, especially the youth. Now, of course, the network prefers minimal damage inflicted upon the legacy they tried to build for LeBron. So, Mr. Jordan will play nice at first, but they know they can count on Jordan to go all the way if need be. We've already seen Jordan is a killer on the court, and there's no reason to believe that he won't have that exact same mentality to help preserve his GOAT legacy. LeBron James has worn out his welcome. He has become that lingering guest at the dinner party that won't leave after all the other guests have already left. He's still sitting at the table while the hosts are picking up the plates and wiping the table down as he's stuffing his face, sipping wine and cracking jokes, oblivious that the host's forced smile and body language is a hint they're ready for him to leave, but instead invites himself to stay over for the night. That is essentially what LeBron has been doing for the last couple of years in the NBA. And by doing so, every year he stays in the league and doesn't win another championship, the more and more he waters down his NBA resume and diminishes his legacy. A legacy that the network has been building up for nearly 3 decades. He already has 2 less championships than Michael Jordan, but has played in 7 more seasons, about to go on an 8th season. And it's not like he's close to winning another championship, or maybe it could be justified. No, he's getting embarrassed and has been 2-12 in his last 3 series in the playoffs. He's only playing to add more stats to his resume, not because he actually makes his team better. He's being selfish and only thinking of his own career. He's stat padding because he's trying to accumulate the most stats in NBA history, but fails to realize that just because you had the most stats doesn't mean you're the most efficient player. You only have the most stats because you played the most games, not because you're the actual best player, but because he's such an egomaniac and so deeply insecure. He will continue to stay in the league for as long as he possibly can, even if it's to the detriment of the Lakers. And the network typically make very subtle moves. They move at a snail's pace so that you hardly notice they're moving at all. You won't know what they're doing unless you know what to look for. So they're not going to just force LeBron to abruptly retire. They were hoping LeBron would have done that on his own by now.
But at this point, I think it's best if we both go our separate ways.
I don't understand.
We don't like you. We want.
The future of work helps bring more dreams within reach.
Now become that lingering dinner party guest that just won't leave.
They really want me out of here.
So you're gonna leave?
They'll never get me out.
We've had it. You leave right now and play now. We'll give you 6 months' pay. That's half of your entire contract.
See my
Make it fast process. And watch what happens when LeBron no longer has the network's protection. When the media is no longer protecting LeBron. Watch how the narratives from the media changes. When the media bosses are no longer telling them what to say and allowing the analysts, journalists, and news anchors, etc. to be honest and objective, watch how the narrative will shift. All of a sudden, they're saying LeBron isn't nearly as good as Jordan. And you'll even hear some of them say that LeBron's not as good as Kobe Bryant. But
that's what's happening now. A little bit more, because he about to retire. A little bit more people is starting to tell the truth. It's happening in front of our faces.
I'll take it a step further and say not only is he not as good as Jordan or Kobe, but he's also not as good as Kevin Durant.
For a three-point play. Durant for three. Bang! Durant again. Knocks it down. Durant fake jumper. Got it. Durant to the basket. Lays it in.
Shout out to Gary 828 Sports Talk, man, for the vid, man. This is a lit vid. Make a lot of sense. And we just gonna see what's gonna happen in the next couple months, in the next year or two. But that's the end of the video. I'm out.